Welcome to Readers of the Lost Art. I'm Rachel.
And I'm Bobby. And I don't know what we're doing today. I don't know.
We're having a day. But we are going to pull it together and do this podcast.
We are having a day. I specifically am having a day. I'm having a little bit of a series of days. But here we are. Today we're talking about Love Hacked.
We are. And it is great.
It was a very fun time. But if you're enjoying this nonsense, if you're like, wow, what a cool vibe, I love it here, I would like more, we would like to invite you to our Patreon, where everything is free.
And we talk less.
We talk less, it's quieter there, but you can read more. And we assume since you're here, you like to read.
And when we post there, we do know what we're talking about, because those are planned.
No, we don't. No.
Well, it's less of a hot mess than this.
I mean, it's at least a more peaceful hot mess than what we've got going on this morning. But you know what? Listen, we're all about being real here.
Well, let's get into the lore of Love Hacked, because what I feel I need to say.
Before we do that, we should talk about something cheerful. And that's something cheerful. And I don't know, did we talk about this on the other episode? I don't remember, but I'm going to talk about it here for the Penny people, and that is that we're going to go see Penny.
We are going to see Penny. Mm-hmm. Maybe twice.
We will have seen Penny. We will have seen Penny when this episode comes out.
We will have seen Penny. So
we already
can't
saw her.
Stalk us.
Yes.
With the Penny drops.
Yes. But yeah, we're going to go to, she is on a little bit of a tour for the, what is it? The
Green
paperback
and
release. Yeah. So she's going to be in Dallas, and so I am going to go to Dallas, and we're going to go and have a good time, and I'm not going to say anything embarrassing in front of her this time.
And that's coming up pretty quick. That's in like 2 weeks, so I'm pretty excited about it. She's going to be in Dallas 2 times. Like, she's on 2 days in Dallas. Supposedly.
Is she? Because I'm still confused about that.
I know. So her website originally said she was going to be there the 6th and the 7th. And then Half Price Books is where she's going to be. Their website only has her on the 7th. And now her little poster only has her there on the 6th. So I'm like, well, what day are you? Maybe she's not even going to be here.
Maybe it's I'm going to show up and they'll be like, sorry, there's no Penny. Here are these other random authors that you've never read or heard of.
Here's some lore about us. In the past, we have tried to go places. And before we can get there, the place has gone out of business. So when Bobby made these plans to come to Dallas, I was like, there's this coffee shop I've always wanted to go to. It's so cute. It's like a fairy tale. I'm so excited because you'll be here. We can go on one of the Penny days. It'll be like a great day. And then it went out of business. Yeah. I've wanted to go to this place for years. And as soon as I made a plan to go there with Bobby, it went out of business.
From what I understand, according to the people in the comments on that post, is that it wasn't so much that it went out of business, but that the owner of the property was like, I don't want a coffee shop here anymore. I want to build a different restaurant.
Well, I don't want to go to a different restaurant. Yeah, I wanted to go to a coffee shop.
Sounds like some landlord bullshit to me.
So that's capitalism for you.
But no capitalism corner today because I'm too grumpy. I'm too grumpy for it.
We'll never get out of it.
We'll just live there the entire time. But anyway, so we're going to see Penny. And that'll be fun. And we're going to get some, I'm going to get a copy of the books and it will be signed.
Yeah, I'm going to get a copy of the book too.
I'm collecting signed versions of Penny's books, but the fun thing about this is that I'm buying them secondhand, so they're signed not to me, but to other people. So my current copy of Love Hacked was signed to Nicole, in which Penny says, "I hope you like goats for reasons." Folks, there are no goats in this book.
No, there are. I know, because I had read this book forever ago. That was the lore I was going to give, is that I have no idea what happened in this book because I read it over a month ago. Because I was so excited. I was in such a dark place. I was like, I need Penny to take me out of it. And I read this book, and she did take me out of it. She saved me. And it was great. I loved this book. But I read it forever ago. So when Bobby got her copy and she said the for goats thing, I was like, what? There are no goats in this book. What is she talking about? So who knows? I did order a copy of this book because I liked it so much. I had been reading them from my library, but I ordered a print copy, and I ordered it direct from Penny's website, so it will be signed. Not to me, just
but
signed.
it'll just have her signature.
Yeah. So any Penny book I have will also be signed, I guess.
Just, Not with hilarious inscriptions to strangers who didn't appreciate Penny as much as they should have, is what I'm going to say. Speaking of, being in a dark place and Penny just taking you right out of it, I just appreciate that her world is so cozy.
Yeah.
But also so crazy.
Uh-huh.
It's so insane.
Uh-huh. Like everything is at like 11.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But you don't expect it. Like you're thinking you're in like a charming little rom-com, and I think that's what's fun about Penny. You think you're just in like a city rom-com, run of the mill, and then it's actually bananas.
It's crazy. It's weird. So if you think you know how things are going to go in this book, you don't. It's not that. It's not that. It's something different and weirder and stranger and just wilder, but you're going to have a good time, which I think is the charm of Penny.
I think so too. I have a lot of stuff to say when we get into world building, but I guess we should go over the other stuff first. Save my world.
The other boring stuff, like what the story is about. So I'll try to field this one because I read it at least slightly more recently.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you what it's about.
So here's what I remember. About this book. So this is about Sandra, but probably Sandra. So this is about Sandra. She is from Texas. She's from Texas,
which might be Sandra,
but she's Sandra because in my heart and mind, she's Sandra because she just is. We're all gonna have to accept it, okay? So Dr. Sandra Fielding is a psychiatrist or psychologist?
Psychotherapist?
I'm looking at the back like, hey, back, do you tell me? Psychotherapist. She is a psychotherapist.
See, I remember this book. It's like I read it yesterday.
Yeah, it's all in there. What am I talking about? Oh, so she is a psychotherapist who works at does she work at the same hospital with Ashley and what's her face? Elizabeth. Yes. Okay. So they all work in the same hospital, which I think is a fun little detail about how they all would have like run into each other and met each other. She has been like every Friday going out on like a blind date with men or a man. And in the course of, and she goes to the same, like, is it an Indian restaurant?
I think it's Indian
Greek?
Food.
Okay, so she goes to, because butter chicken is Indian, right?
Yeah, butter chicken.
So she goes to this Indian restaurant every single time. And,
because she loves their butter chicken, which is
she loves
also
the butter
delightful.
Chicken and gets it every single time. If she's going to suffer
through a blind date, she might as well have a nice meal.
Yeah. I think it's very fun that she gets the same thing every time because that's such a me thing to do.
Yeah.
Because I'll get so emotionally attached to a dish of food that I can't go to a place and not get that food. Like I would feel like I were betraying the food if I went and got something different. So anyway, she goes to the same Indian restaurant every Friday with a different man, and in the course of these dates, these men like open up to her and unpack all of these like deep repressed sorrows and struggles, and so then she will refer them to her friend. Is it Thomas? I think it's name. Thomas. So she refers them to her friend Thomas, who is some sort of psych person, and then she just becomes friends with them forever. And so she has this harem of guy friends that she just knows, and some of them are like dating and some of them get married, and some of them are
there's like one that really wants her to help him pick out a couch.
It's like, my guy, come on now. It's like, why is Sandra your only female friend? Try harder.
I remember when I was like really active on the dating websites, I also had this situation where I would just like collect these guy friends. So we would just, I would go on a date with them, and then we would become friends, and we would never go any further, and I would just like hang out with them. But there was one who needed my help picking out a couch. I was like, oh, it's about me. And I remember one of my husband and I, our first date was also to help him pick out a couch. Men really struggle.
They struggle with couches in particular. Like they can't figure it out.
What's
amazing.
It supposed to look like?
You know what? I had a friend who called me on FaceTime because he's like, I need you to give me your opinion about this couch. We weren't even that close.
If a man can weigh in, what's happening? Y'all in couches. Just sit down. Is it comfortable?
Like, what insight do you think we have that you don't possess on couches? Like, we are equal opportunity on the couches. We all use them equally, I would imagine. I don't know.
And perhaps it's
Wild.
like what they want to get into the female psyche of like what couch a woman can imagine having sex on. Like they're just trying to bridge that gap. I mean, none, but
okay. Right. Anyway, so she goes to this restaurant. She's been doing this for like 2 years, I think, going on these dates and never dating the same man twice. And there is this very handsome waiter with a beautiful voice at this restaurant. His name is Alex. He's very young, but she like always gets the same waiter, and he's very like cute, but he's very like, what's the word I'm looking for?
Stiff?
Very
Reserved?
stiff. Yeah, reserved probably. And it just kind of spins on. I'm thinking back into like, how did they even like start talking? Like, what
He
happened?
sits down. Like he finally has enough. She wears a red dress, I think.
Oh yeah, it's the red dress.
He likes the color red, right? That was this guy, or was that a different book I read? I think that was a different book I read.
I don't remember him liking red in particular, but I do remember him liking that red dress.
I think that was the Jimenez book we read, where the guy likes red underwear. Is that?
Listen, I charged through that book so fast. I don't remember. I was like, I just got to get to the end of this. I'm tired of suffering.
I think someone likes red, but he really likes this red dress, and so she's wearing this red dress at that dinner. The guy leaves in tears. And Alex is like, enough is enough. I have to know why this woman comes in looking great every Friday with a different man every Friday. And the man always leaves crying. Like, I just have to know.
Yeah. So he sits down and then they start kind of talking. And here's the thing about Sandra is that I don't know how to explain Sandra. I don't know how to explain her.
One of her things is that she can read people really well. So she like knows what they want her to say that will allow them to be comfortable, but she can't read Alex because he's really reserved.
Right. She also really wants like a real relationship.
She does. Like that's why she's going on these dates.
Yeah, like she is actively looking for someone. Like she wants to get married. She wants this is not like I'm just gonna like sleep around with a bunch of people. That is not. She's willing. She'll do it, but that's not what she wants.
Right.
What she wants is a long-term, steady relationship, which she really doesn't think that she's going to be able to get from Alex. And Alex also was like, Alex is also very confusing because they somehow it's a lot of back and forth. It's very strange. He's got a criminal past. Yeah. Something to do with crypto. NFTs. I won't give you like things that I do not and refuse to understand.
Listen, the fact that Penny Reid can write a book with a hero who's actively involved with NFTs and AI, because I read one where she had AI and I can still enjoy the book and actually love it, is a true testament to Penny Reid's power. Like,
right, but this is back in like 2014, 2015 or whenever this was posted, when it was still new and exciting. And when she describes it, like she's got a thing at the end of the book where she talks about she just thinks it's so interesting. And I think when you look at it from like an idealistic kind of perspective, where you can have this currency that's separated from the governments controlling it, it's controlled by the people.
And I do hate government.
Right.
In general. Not government control, but just government.
Yeah. But the thing is, any type of currency, any type of power is going to corrupt people. That just is human nature, right?
But not in Penny Reid's world, because it's very not in Penny Reid's world.
Yes. So you really have to look at it through that lens. This is not 2025 Elon Musk world. This is 2014. Pandemic hasn't happened and maybe it's all going to be okay world.
Right. And I would say that Alex's kind of thing is that he doesn't think he can have a relationship because he has all these secrets. One of them being why he has this criminal background, right? Why, like, he's got a handler, like they call like it a probation.
But that's not really what it is. He has like some government officials who are from the NSA who are tracking him, paying attention to what he's up to, right?
So he doesn't think he can have any sort of relationship.
Well, yeah, because they're like fully tapped into him, like everywhere. Like
they're like
we learned that they've tapped Sandra's apartment.
Yes.
And she is so chill about that. She's so chill about it when I would be raging. I would be pitching every fit. But here's the really exciting thing. When they said that, I'm like, she's going to move into the magical apartment building. They're all just going to gather. Maybe this is what this series is about. It's just how can we move all of these people into the same magical apartment building?
The apartment building of the traveling pants.
The apartment building of the traveling pants. This is what we want. We want to gather everybody together. We want to make it Friends, but in real life, where everybody does live in the same building together.
Yeah.
I think that's so fun.
I think it's so fun,
I love this idea so much. But anyway, so he's being tracked by government agencies. He's having to be very cagey. He's very secretive.
But he is finally... super in love with Sandra, and that's very clear.
Like for real.
From the beginning.
Like he's ready to risk it all for her. He doesn't he wants to be dead serious, and she's like, "You're too young. I don't know if I'm going to be able to I don't know if you're ready to have a relationship the way that I want to have a relationship." I was
a little worried that that she was gonna do a thing well, he's a waiter and I want someone with a career, and she very sidestepped that totally, because I was really worried. I was like, oh, that's gonna be upsetting to me. Maybe he wants to be a waiter, but she didn't. She was like, oh, I don't care that he's a waiter. I care that he's young and that he probably isn't ready for commitment.
And he was like, no, but I am though. I'm like, no, for real.
I'm so ready to commit to you. I'm ready to go to a country without what is it? Extradition? Yeah, I'm ready to go to a country without extradition so we can be together forever.
Yeah.
Which also would have been very fun. So.
I would have taken that, but then it would have split up the knitting group, which would have been kind of sad, maybe in the future. But anyway, so what I thought was very, very fun is maybe we'll save this for world building. I'm going to save that for world building. We'll come back to it. So they just start this relationship where they're having to kind of sneak around, and Sandra really wants to sleep with him. Yeah. She's like, can we please? And he's
more than
really holding back. Yeah, she's so desperate for it, and he's really being very reluctant to give that to her. So that causes a little bit of conflict until he finally breaks down kind of out of nowhere. Spoilers, I guess, but you knew it was coming. I just won't give you any details, so you'll just have to be on your toes waiting for it to happen. And then it becomes an issue with this NSA, and they're going to try to use they're going to try to use Sandra against him and get her to testify and all of this government stuff. And so of course we have to call on brave and fearless Quinn, who I really loved in this book.
Yeah,
I'm like, how did I become a Quinn stan all of a sudden? I even liked Nico a lot in this book.
Yeah, Nico.
Maybe it's because he wasn't talking a lot, so I didn't have to deal with his bullshit too much.
I think I said in the last episode that I'm pretty sure that Nico was at the knitting circle in Marie's book. So I think
he's in there now.
Continues to stay there,
and I thought it was very cute that Janie is also learning to crochet along with Nico. So they're the little crochet corner.
I think
I also really loved Janie in this book. I don't know why. I just feel so reassured every time she shows up, and I'm just like, well, it's going to be okay because Janie's here. Even though she's a crazy person. She's a maniac.
How dare you? I saw, spoilers for us, I saw that one of our next books is her and Quinn's marriage story, right? And that one does sound crazy. She puts him through some trials.
Well, we also find out that this is where Elizabeth and Nico get married. So are they also getting married I guess they're also getting married in that book because they're married in this one. And it was just kind of now that they're married and something about Vegas, and I was like, what's going on? But
yeah, I remember that. I think I told you, I was like, well, they're married here. So people are getting married off screen.
Yeah, or maybe on screen, but in 1.5s instead of full releases. Well, we get it. Actually, that's a spoiler. I'm not going to give you that spoiler. But anyway, I guess we were supposed to do Feelings Corner before the premise and the conflict. Have we talked about Feelings Corner?
No, but I feel like my feelings are clear. I really enjoyed this book. I thought it was a romp. It was everything that I wanted. I read it almost immediately after reading Friends Without Benefits, which is why it's been so long since I read it. And I talked about how my struggles with reading Friends Without Benefits because I couldn't get my hands on the book. So I read this one early to have that correct Penny experience, and it really I liked it so much, and I've been on like a no buying thing that I was like, no, I'm not going to buy the book, and then I was like, no, I got to buy the book. I loved it. And I like logged onto Penny Reid's website like 4 or 5 times, like going back and forth about whether or not I was going to buy it, and eventually I did. So I loved it. My feelings are that I loved it, which I feel like makes Feelings Corner pretty boring.
Yeah, my feelings are always, wow, this was a good time. I think if I were ranking these, I feel like Love Hacked would be my number 2 because I do think Neanderthal really hit for me. And then Friends Without Benefits would be my number 3 right now.
Love Hacked would be my number 1. I've always liked hacker stories. Like, I'm really into hacker stuff. I think that's super fun. Alex was a hacker, so that was really fun for me. And Sandra reminds me of the hot... Like, I love a hot mess, and I do think Sandra has her own hot messness. And she reminds me of a hot mess in the way that I am a hot mess. And so I really, like, connected with her. I thought she was really interesting and fun. And also I just really loved, this is world building for sure, but they go to Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me, which was...
I know, that was my thing that I was going to talk about with world building, but I used to listen to Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me like all for years.
Yeah, for sure.
I was like, wait, why did I ever stop listening to Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me? I should go back. So I've been listening to Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me again, which is fun.
Oh, good.
That used to be the only way I would get my news is to
same.
Wait. But now I like know all the answers to all of the questions, which is fun and sad and depressing, but fun.
I haven't listened to it just because I've been on a nonfiction audiobook kick. So I haven't been listening to podcasts despite making a podcast. Let's not talk about that.
But I did feel one of our, I guess it's not really a complaint, but an observation of Friends Without Benefits is that the world felt so small. Like it felt like Chicago was not even there. Like it could have been set anywhere. But this really felt like Chicago was back. We were getting a little bit more of the city, a little bit more of the culture, I guess. And so that was really fun.
It felt like a character in the book. I don't know that I have any other world building things because that was my big one. It was nice to see Chicago come back.
Yeah, and somewhere so specific and so very Chicago was very fun.
Well, I guess we get this is more characters though, but I think it affects the world. We get some like background on some pretty important characters and kind of see how they all are connected in more ways than maybe we thought. So
I'm going to try to say this without giving any kind of a spoiler.
I know. That's why I feel like I'm really like dancing around it because I'm not sure how to talk about it.
There's a scene in Neanderthal that felt like it's at the end and it felt like it came out of nowhere.
I think
like
we even talked about it on the podcast.
We did talk about it.
Like I said,
where suddenly
that was
everybody's like a martial arts expert. And one of the knitters in particular like stabs a man with a knitting needle.
And I was like, that was
that
crazy.
sure was crazy. And then we get to book 3 and it's like, oh. And I kept telling you the whole time, I'm like, there's something going on with this character. There's something going on with this character. And then I was right. I was like, wow, look at me go.
You're very
good
at
fun.
Solving mysteries.
Yes.
As we've proved on our...
So picking up some tips from some of the best that literature has to offer, which is just Sean Spencer in many iterations is what it is. So we're getting more character development as we go and kind of circling back to things that happened previously. And it's like, oh, well, that makes sense now. So that's kind of fun. I'm very excited to see how that continues to develop. And I think that, as Penny is writing these characters, she's getting to know them a little bit better. And so the women themselves are a little bit more developed in each other's stories,
Yeah. I mean, we still aren't seeing a lot. This is going to just take us into characters. We still aren't seeing a lot from Kat. We still aren't seeing a ton from Marie. We got a little more from Marie this time. But Fiona was big. Janie was big.
Yeah.
I would say, Elizabeth was there, but she was less big. Elizabeth felt more like the Elizabeth of the first book. I think being in Elizabeth's head was a different experience. Like, I think it just goes to show how different Elizabeth sees herself as her friends see her.
Like, her crazy is more internal than it is external. And the fact that story is, like, so closed up and so, like, small world, I think kind of touches on that idea of like what's going on in her head is not manifesting itself on the outside the way that it does for Sandra a little bit more, I think, with her quirks and whatnot.
I think Sandra is like a people pleaser, really. Like she wanted, that was kind of her whole problem, is that she just wanted to say what these guys like wanted to hear, which like made them help or made them love her in this like really weird and unhealthy way. And so she kind of has to learn to not be a people pleaser. And I do think that's maybe why I connected with Sandra. I too am a people pleaser. I'm like, well, I gotta make all the people happy.
I think most people with a social circle that big have to be people pleasers.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like I just don't see like with that many different types of people, you have to be. I feel like you have
not
to be
just
somebody
her knitting
who's just
circle,
wanting
but
to.
she has
like her harem
of
of men that she's befriended by psychoanalyzing them over dinner.
Did we get anything about Sandra's like family background? I don't remember. Okay,
I think that she's like a normal family background, if I remember correctly. Just has a mom and dad. Like they just exist. Maybe talks to them occasionally, so not like one of those super close besties with their mom or you know, rough childhood. But I don't remember. I don't remember. Nothing about what she said about them stands out, but I do like, I know that Alex has a really rough childhood.
Yes,
and so
Alex has been through a lot.
Yeah,
he is very emotionally mature because of the things that he has seen.
Right.
Listen, when I found out how young he was, I was like, ooh. Oh, that's because I thought for sure he was like at least 21, but he's not, right?
He is 21.
He's 21. He's just 21, right at 21.
Spoilers, I guess, but it's not really that big of a deal.
Yeah, I didn't feel like that was much of a spoiler because I think I told you beforehand. I was like, he's very young.
I mean, 21 is an actual child, you know?
Yeah. I mean, at least he wasn't like 19, but it did feel very young. But also, I am older than Sandra is. And so when I am reading myself into a book, it's different with YA because I can, like, it's so far from me that, you know, I'm like in a different headspace. It's like, oh, that's a child. And so like I'm reading it as a child. But like when you're reading an adult book, if the character's 26 and I'm 37, I still read that character as 37 because honestly, there's not that much difference between a 26 and a 37-year-old.
Not really.
And if I was 26, I would not be dating a 21-year-old.
I might have.
But if I was 36, I would probably date a 26-year-old. So it is like, you know, it's like the older you get, the less it matters.
Well, it's the formula. Half your age plus 7 is how low you can date.
Interesting. I've never heard that.
You never heard that before?
No.
I don't know where I learned that, but that's just something that's in my head. But that's like the golden rule is that the lowest you can date is half of your age plus 7 years. And that's going to be younger and younger the older you get.
If I was 27 or 26, I guess like my knee-jerk reaction would be like, I can't date a 21-year-old. Like they would really have to rise above some expectations that I have about a 21-year-old. Like if they could do it, then it's not like I would say no for sure. But, you know, but that's only like a 6-year age difference. So it's not like...
Which, I mean, with some people, like you were saying, Alex is very emotionally mature. Like, he doesn't know how to behave himself in public. He's a little bit of a crazy person, but emotionally, he's very mature.
An absolute mess, Alex is.
Very strange. Very difficult for me to really pin down and figure out, like, okay, what's going on
here? He loves Sandra so much.
He does.
And he just, really cannot comport himself.
What a delightful guy he is. But he is emotionally mature. So like he knows how to be very respectful of her. Like I don't know what I'm trying to say, but like the fact that he is so mature, like he's in his soul, he is older. He's got an old soul.
A lot of people like, as you grow, you experience things that make other things matter less.
Mm-hmm.
And he's experienced enough things at 21. So, like, a lot of the kind of, like, more frivolous stuff that perhaps another 21-year-old would care about.
Yeah, like, his lifestyle is very mature.
Yeah.
Like, he's taking care of himself. He's handling his money well. Like, he's not, like, going out and partying. He's not wasting his time. He's not, like, sleeping around. He's not doing things that might, that, like, a normal 21-year-old would do because they're just, like, like a junior, senior in college,
Yeah.
So I think that in the end, that kind of, like, I don't really care about an age gap. I'm just going to be real. I don't care about an age gap. I care about an adult man with a teenage girl. I don't like that.
Mm-hmm.
Not a fan of that.
Right.
But as far as, like, two consenting adults with an age gap,
yeah,
what if we all calmed down?
Yeah, I also truly don't care normally.
Like, I really feel like it's one of those things where it just depends on the person.
Yeah.
Because I've met some very irresponsible, immature 30-somethings, but I've known some very, very responsible, immature 20-somethings.
Right.
So it's just one of those case-by-case situations. I can't say that every single young woman who dates an older man has daddy issues. That doesn't make any sense. Nor would I say that any older woman who dates a younger man is, what do we say about them? That they're just cougars?
People don't like it, but I just feel like the only term we have for it is cougar. We have Sandra, who is a 26-year-old, 27-year-old dating a 21-year-old. That's fine. Mm-hmm. We do see Nico and Elizabeth together are very cute. We see them several times. We see Janie, but not with Quinn until the end, right? Like, Quinn doesn't really come around till the end a lot.
He's sort of hovering in the background as a presence, but he doesn't show up on screen until later on.
I continue to really feel strongly about Quinn. I'm like, should I have chosen him? Should he be for me? It's too late. It's Dan.
You have a harem.
I know. I do have a harem.
You could have all of them. You could just keep adding to it. Every boy gets to come.
But Quinn does a lot at the end. And not only do we get a lot of information about Alex through Quinn, we get a lot of information about Quinn and, like, how Quinn grew up and, like, what he thinks and what he cares about. So I thought that was very interesting. He loves Alex. Which perhaps, if he was Sandra, he would also date Alex. And I do think that endeared Alex to me because I like Quinn so much.
Yeah, I loved that there's a part towards the end where they're all gathered together for unspecified reasons, and everybody notes that Quinn, like, says, like, hi, welcome to the group or whatever to Alex, and everyone's so shocked that Quinn's just being slightly friendly, but, like, for Quinn, that was like a glowing recommendation.
Like, he might as well have proposed to that man.
I know. And I do like that Nico's being very friendly to him and very welcoming, and so you have this with Nico and Quinn where what I read like a buddy cop spinoff where Nico and Quinn go on some sort of adventure together. I don't know, maybe. I might do that.
I think I would prefer if Nico and Alex go off on some adventures together.
They got it. Well, they're going to bring Alex too, but I just think that the contrast between Quinn's coldness and Nico's just fire shooting everywhere all the time is very fun. And then if they adopt little baby Alex into their group, now we got a boy group. Now we're taking the show on the road.
I love it.
Quinn is leader, Nico's our center, and Alex is our, like, shy boy who will somehow be the best at Aikyo,
I feel like Alex is very he's shy, but he's also very friendly to everyone. Like, he's very personable. He seemed... It's so... Alex is so full of contrasts. He clearly doesn't know how to behave himself in public, but also he really knows how to behave himself in public.
Yeah. Like, he knows how to behave himself with people, like with a person, but not in public. Like, rules of society mean nothing to him, but friendliness and relationships and connections, he can do those when he wants to.
And also, he just cannot, like, Sandra just blinds him to... He just...
Well, I think that's part of it, is, like, these are Sandra's people, and by extension, these are good people, and he can automatically, like, trust them and wants to, you know, love them with his whole heart, because this is Sandra's, you know?
Alex is a very good boy.
He's a very good boy. And I mean that in the positive way, not in the negative way that people use it these days.
People use very good boy negatively?
Oh, yeah. Now, I've learned this from my 8th graders. If you say, good boy, what you're saying to that person is that they're being very humble and submissive in like a negative kind of way. And so sometimes when I tell a child to do something and they do the thing that I've asked them to do, somebody else will very snarkily say, oh, good boy. And it's like you're talking to a dog is the thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
I just don't like people.
Yeah.
When I say a very good boy, I mean that he's a very good peach of a boy.
Right. Well, because when they
cinnamon roll.
Because I was talking to the kids and they were like, is so-and-so a good boy? And I was like I got suspicious because the way they were asking it. I was like, yes. And they're like, she called you a good boy. And I'm like, why is that bad? I need you to explain to me why that is bad. And so then they had to tell me, and I was like, y'all are stupid. Why are y'all stupid? Do better things with your language. Come on now.
Language can do so much. And we're always using it for evil. I just
all
don't
the time
understand.
Using it for evil. It's so sad. But anyway, so Alex is a good boy. He's a good boy in a way that I'm saying with my whole heart. I like him a lot. I don't understand him.
No.
But I like him.
No. And I do want him. I'm just going to give you a preview.
He's also on my list of maybes. I have a lot of people that I'm like a maybe on this one, so I'm prepared no matter what happens.
Okay,
I'm
good.
Ready.
Good. I feel like I'm the exactly like other girls of this podcast. Like, I just want the main character.
I am not like the other girls. I don't even have my romantic lead yet, and I can't figure out how to introduce him because I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing.
Let's hit on some of the other characters before we get into the game. So we talked about the ones that we've kind of already seen. We have a new character that you sort of mentioned, Thomas. Thomas
is the most nothing character, I think. He just kind of shows up. He's very quiet, kind of a nerd vibe. I'm sitting here when they're together, I'm like, he absolutely is in love with her, right? We all know that he's in love with her, but she doesn't seem to know that he's in love with her. And he's also not acting like he's in love with her. He's just kind of also psychoanalyzing her a little bit.
Yeah.
Like they're just like a little support group that meets like every Saturday.
Every
is
Saturday.
What it feels
she
like.
Meets this man every Saturday for
and
breakfast.
Wears her Thomas t-shirt.
Which I love. We didn't mention that. Sandra has a collection of experience shirts. What does she call them?
Not situation. Is it situation?
It's situation. It's situation shirts. And I was like, I should do that. So like if she's watching Star Wars, she has her Star Wars shirt. If she's having breakfast with Thomas, she has her breakfast with Thomas shirt. Like I want a collection of t-shirts that I just write my situation on it. Like, you know, I could go to a coffee shop and it's like, I'm working.
This is my working at a coffee shop shirt.
And no one has to ask what I'm doing. I'm pretending to work at a coffee shop. That's what the shirt actually says. So I love that. And I feel strongly that one day I have a Cricut. I have shirts. Like I can make something happen is what I'm saying.
We can add this to the list of things that you do and are into along now with minor league baseball.
Very into minor league baseball. I hope we see at least one character into baseball.
She went to one game yesterday and this is her new thing. So today she would be wearing her I am now into minor league baseball t-shirt. Ask me about the minor leagues is what it says.
I was so into it, the game, that like anytime something would happen, I would like grab my son who was there with me. I was like, oh my God. And he's like, Mom, you're scaring me.
don't care about sports to a level that I think it's become hostile. Like I think I'm actively hostile towards sports now because I'm so surrounded by it. When you live in the South in particular, you're so surrounded by it and everybody's into them. Like it's not a boy thing here. Everyone is into the sports. And so the kids will ask me, well, who's your favorite team? I don't care. That's my favorite team.
Well, I need to tell you real quick about the Frisco Rough Riders because their mascot is Teddy Roosevelt. And it's like a little cartoon Teddy Roosevelt with like weird monocle glasses. It's really perfect. So as I get into the Frisco Rough Riders, I will also get my Frisco Rough Riders t-shirts, Teddy Roosevelt. I'm very excited.
That's really nice.
What was I talking about?
I don't know. Who can say? Sandra's Situation t-shirts. Yes.
And we were talking about that because of Thomas. I really read Thomas as like a stand-in to show that Sandra is just craving like a steady male energy. Like that's what she needs in her life. She wants a steady male energy and she just doesn't know how to find it.
Arguably, I don't know that she's found steady male energy from Alex. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'm misreading him, but he is
steady in his love for her.
He is steady in ways, yeah.
I don't think there's a world in which she could feel unsafe about his feelings towards her. There are other things that she might have to deal with, but his feelings towards her, I think, are pretty, like, she can trust and count on those. It was interesting to me that she needed Thomas. Like, she needed someone like Thomas as opposed to one of the girls from the knitting group. Like, she needed someone outside of that who could see this other side of her, the psychotherapist, instead of the fun one from Texas.
Interestingly, she didn't seem to have, like, you know how Janie and Elizabeth are besties?
Yeah.
Sandra didn't seem to have anyone in the group that she was particularly attached to in that way. So I thought that was kind of interesting, that she's just sort of there.
Like, her vibe, like, well, even Elizabeth says that she doesn't feel like she knows Sandra that well. It seems like her vibe is, like, the fun one. She's the fun one from Texas. And so I think, because even in Elizabeth's books, she's the one who, like, drinks all the margaritas, right? She, like, downs all the margaritas. I feel like this happened.
That was a million years ago.
She downs all the margaritas, and then they have to go into the kitchen and make more margaritas, and Sandra comes to help, and that's how she ends up going to that rehearsal, or not rehearsal, the high school reunion.
High school reunion, yeah.
Yeah, so I feel like that's a thing. So it seems like her vibe at the knitting circle is like the fun one who's never, and this might be the people pleaser thing, right? Like, she's never sharing her problems or talking about things that are going wrong for her. She is just there to have a nice time and make sure everyone else is having a nice time.
Right, because when she asked to use the apartment for the first time, because she's talking to Janie and Elizabeth in the kitchen, and they're both like, because she's like, I need a favor, and they're both like, oh my, you need a favor? Whatever, yes, whatever it is, we will give it to you, because you never asked for favors. So, yeah, I think that's part of that whole just doing stuff for everybody else, but I'm never going to ask for anything, because that would be too far, a bridge too far from me.
She doesn't want to be a burden. She wants to be the caretaker. And so she needs someone to, you know, treat her more like a person instead of an entertainment value. And it's like the girls at the knitting circle show that they are capable of treating her like a person. So it's not them. It's more of like an internal. But it is interesting that she chose Thomas, who is like the most nothing of nothings. Like, there was the line when she first goes to meet him, how she's like, and he was reading, and I could see that his eyes were moving, so I just didn't say anything because he hates being interrupted, and he refuses to take his eyes off the newspaper, and he just, like, drinks his coffee while not looking at it because he's so busy looking at this newspaper. I was like, this is crazy.
Like, why is this my uncle right now?
So, he was weird.
A strange dude, yeah. But so we have Thomas.
And then we have the NSA agents.
Yes, there are two of them. There's one who I don't remember at all, but then we have the one that reoccurs. Her name is Agent Bell, I believe.
Yes.
Who is giving... I have somebody very specific in my brain that this person reminds me of, but I cannot remember who it is.
I thought it was interesting that at first they're like, I think maybe she's in love with him. And then Sandra is like, I think maybe she thinks she's his mommy. like she's trying to, like, she sees talent in him and wants to make sure he doesn't squander it. Which I did think made her more sympathetic, some of her actions. Though not justified, but more sympathetic.
I thought it was weird. I thought her character was just very strange, and even if she wasn't like in love with him, which I didn't get that vibe that she was in love with him, but that, you know, Alex apparently just like draws people to him. Like people just want to take care of him when they see him, I guess. But for her, I just thought it was like a little, there was just something creepy about it just because of the position that she was in, where she had so much power over him. And that she was like literally trying to manipulate him into doing something specifically, that I don't know. I was just like, I don't like this. This feels weird. This feels like to me it was giving there's something weirder and darker going on under the surface with her. Yeah. I don't think it was supposed to be, but in my mind that's what it was.
I didn't like her, but I did think it was, as someone who's like seen some people who you know have potential and then they're like squandering it. I could get that kind of frustration from her. I don't think she was going about it in the like correct way to get him to fix it, but I could understand the frustration. That, you know, it's never her threatening Sandra, which she does do a couple of times. I don't know. I didn't like her, but no. It's one of those things that when you talk about is a character good or bad, I don't mean good in the sense that I liked them. I mean good in that I think they were well written and I can understand their motivations. Right. Even if I don't agree with their behavior.
I'm trying to think. I think that's it for characters.
I think so too. I mean, there's the family that takes care of Alex. So Alex gets the job at the Indian food restaurant because his mom, I guess, worked at this family. And so worked with this family when she was still alive, and the family has a daughter and she comes into play a little bit at the end. But the family that takes care of Alex and lets him live above their restaurant and all of that stuff, they're not necessarily in the book a lot, but they are a presence in the book. Dan is in here at some point.
He does show up, and I do
Dan,
have
my
him
future
marked.
husband.
Yes. Oh, Agent Dumas, I believe, is the other.
Perfect names.
Oh, Dan is at one of their, like, knitting meetings.
But he's, like, just watching, right?
Yeah, he's just being security. But I feel like Sandra was talking about how, like, comfortable she felt with him there. Yeah. I feel, or maybe that was just me saying, oh, yay, I'm glad he's here, because I also feel comfortable with him here.
I can't remember if it was in this book or if it was in Elizabeth's books where they said that he is like a large teddy bear. And I was like, oh, that's just my type.
But those are all our characters. That's it.
Yeah. This one was a fun one, though. I feel like
I do have quotes marked in this one.
Oh, you have quotes? Wow, we can put them on social media. This never happens for us.
I know. I have one short quote that I thought was interesting, where he says, I just want you more than I want the easiness and comfort of numbness.
Oh, that's very beautiful.
I thought that was interesting.
I just really like Alex. I like him so much. Like I said, he's too young for me, but he's not too young for my harem. So
no one's too young for your harem.
Oh, you know, I just feel like I'm really giving away what my plan is for today.
It all depends on who rolls first. Oh, I gotta pull up the thing. I never ever have the thing pulled up.
The rules?
Yes.
I got my dice out. Oh, I can have the rules up on my phone.
All right, so shall we start with recapping our chapter 2 of our stories?
I'd like to go first because I had a crisis last time at the end. Well, do you remember at the end of the episode, I'm just like not even paying attention. I'm like, I'm just so worried about I don't even know what we were talking about, but if you listen to me, I'm just like...
We were talking about whether your boss is going to be a boss or a landlord, and how you're going to have a boss if you own your own store, and why would you care so much about the store if you didn't own the store. And so we go back and forth about how do we solve this problem.
For 30 minutes. That's the whole episode.
Long time, yeah.
So, sorry, everyone. But as you know, I'm writing a fantasy road trip. Mm-hmm. In chapter 1, my character, me, we learn, I have decided that it is her family store owned by her, let's say, grandpa. Mm-hmm. And, but now it's owned by uncle. And so she's working at it and she loves this store. And uncle is planning to just shut store down.
Right.
Like he's not even trying to save it. He's just like, oh, big business is coming. Let's shut her all down. In the chapter, she finds a Reddit post about her wise mentor, Steven, who is a YouTube personality. And this Reddit post is a conspiracy theory that he actually owns the magical plant growing area. Just call it that. Greenhouse, perhaps. And so she's like reading this and like, oh, it's so crazy. And then it gets deleted and all of the comments about it are getting deleted. So she's like, at the end of this chapter, she's kind of just like watching this Reddit drama play out. And that's where I left off on chapter 1. I've neatly recapped it. Those wasted 30 minutes, everyone. That's done. I'm sorry. That was it.
Okay. That's it. Well, what about your chapter 2?
Oh, now I have to talk about chapter 2.
Yeah, you got to tell us what happened. We already know your chapter 1. We want to know chapter 2.
Well, I had to recap chapter 1 because I did such a bad time last time.
Well, do carry on and tell us about chapter 2.
Okay, in chapter 2, so I rolled that I have to add a harem or roommates. And I have decided to add both.
Okay.
So Dan is going to come into the store. Dan is her roommate.
Okay.
But she thinks he's really hot, and but is like really, nervous around him. And he comes into the store.
So they are already roommates?
They are already roommates.
Okay. So have been roommates.
Have been roommates.
In like an apartment above the store or elsewhere? Yeah. Okay.
Apartment above the store. He goes through the store to get to his apartment.
Okay.
And so that's kind of why he's in. And he notices that she's kind of like acting weird as she's looking at her computer. And he suggests that she just message the person who posted and ask what happened. And so they're going to, that's basically what's going to happen in chapter 2. I know that sounds short, but I can draw something out. You saw the way I drew out chapter 1. The main thing in chapter 2 is that we meet Dan, and then he tells her that she should just message this person on Reddit, and she does that.
Okay. Okay. All right, so my chapter 2, so I'm doing a paranormal romance, or a romantic paranormal story, and I have inherited a house and land from a relative of some sort, distant relative. And I've moved down to this very small town to go live in this house. I also have a cat. The cat is important for reasons that I haven't fully decided on, but that's what's happening. So the currently I'm like, I don't know what my conflict is. Like, it's obviously something needs to be haunted, but we haven't really gotten that going yet. In my heart and mind, like, the whole town is haunted. Like, there's just something going on. And so here's what I've got for chapter 2. I've got like a series. I've got so much more than you do for your chapter 2. And I also have a crisis because it's a mess. All right. So here we go.
Good. It's good I went first.
Yeah. All right. So at the beginning of chapter 2, one of my character archetypes has to become my nemesis. So that had to come into play here. So here we go. In chapter 2, I start off with chatting with my lawyer, who is Rose from Friends Without Benefits. And she is very confident, and she's like sort of taking me under her wing and like, okay, you're going to be great. You're going to do great here. It's so good to have some fresh blood. I talk about how, I used to come and visit here every summer when I was a kid. So, you know, I have like people that I knew here, friends that I kind of grew up with here. But then I'm thinking what'll happen, there'll be some sort of like family argument or something and family feud. And then when I'm a teenager, I kind of stop going. Right. So it's been a while since I've been. Then I pick up the keys, sign a bunch of paperwork, pick up the keys, go to the house. The house is an old farmhouse surrounded by farmland, so kind of very isolated. It's a white house. It's got a wraparound porch. It's got a little fenced in yard. It's very, very cute, but then like everything just surrounded by just like grassy desolation, right?
Okay.
It has very creaky wood floors. It's very old. It makes noises all the time because, you know, it's a settling house. It's an old house. Henry, my cat, a Norwegian forest cat, looks like he belongs on a Viking ship, does not like the house. Like, he gets in there, he's prowling around, he doesn't like the vibe, he doesn't like it at all, but he's grumpy all the time anyway. So also, he's a cat. I don't know if you know this about cats, but they don't like doing things. So except murdering things, they like that. So I get there, I just like grab some takeout to take with me to the house. The house is still furnished, but like sort of semi packed up. There's a lot of like old stuff left over. So I don't have to like bring all of my stuff, but it's a lot of, you know, old furniture full of memories and whatever. And so I just pick up some takeout and I go to the house and kind of get settled in and unpack and get all that stuff taken care of. The next morning, the quirky townsperson shows up. And I think it's going to be a she, but we'll find out. So they bring like a welcome package, but they're quirky. So it's just like rolls and rolls and rolls of toilet paper. They're like, here. And I'm just like, oh, wow, thanks so much. She gossips about things that are going on. She talks about there is a celebrity that has returned because I have the unapproachable celebrity. So got to drop those seeds now. So a celebrity has returned and everybody's kind of freaking out about it. And they don't know why he's here. I think it's going to be a he. So that we have just this fun little visit. And then, you know, telling me about what's going on in the town and kind of doing a little bit of exposition about the town and what it's like.
Yeah.
So then she leaves. As I am setting up the house, I notice that there is, you know, a lot of weird noises. Sometimes the lights are flickering, so, you know, we got to better look into the wiring. At some point, I look out the window at night, and I think I see someone walking just beyond the fence. And my personal reaction, like if I went outside at night or if I'm in the house at night and I look out the window and I think I see someone beyond the fence, I'm not like turning on lights to let them know that I see them. I'm going into hiding. Like I'm just, you know, so I'm not sure what she's going to do. She might turn on the lights. She's not going outside. She's not doing that. She's not an idiot.
Right.
So she just kind of feels a little bit unsettled about that. But like, you know, maybe it's just somebody walking through the fields, you know, going somewhere else. She just locks the doors, make sure everything is secure. And the next day, she's running some errands in the town, and she runs into someone with like a face mask and a bucket hat on and sunglasses. And it turns out that it is the celebrity who has come back to his hometown. And she's like, and this is a fake meet cute. Because this is not a love triangle. It's probably not a love triangle, but he is not the leading man. He's just a fake celebrity. He's not a fake celebrity. He's just a celebrity. So she runs into him and they have like this little interaction because as it turns out, you know, she knew him when he was a kid, but like only like a little bit. So they have just a tiny little bit of history. However, somebody witnesses this. It is the nosy reporter who is going to become my nemesis. The nosy reporter sees this and kind of, you know, is cozy. Like after the interaction goes down, they're kind of like cozying up to me like, oh, what's going on? How have you been? It's been so long. And is being sort of like negging a little bit. Like, oh, wow. I remember your hair used to be so cute. I remember you when your hair was so cute. What happened to your hair? Why is it like this? You know, that sort of thing. But it seems like, you know, just generally harmless at first. But then they go and they post on the town's Facebook page this rumor about me and this celebrity. And so now I hate them.
Yeah.
And that's as far as I've gotten. I was like, I feel like I didn't get enough paranormal in there. I don't know how I'm going to get the story
like 2
going.
bullet points, and you're like, I feel like I didn't get enough.
But I'm like, and I also don't know how I don't know who my romantic interest is because he's not in this book. So who is he and how am I going to get him and how do I introduce him? I feel like right now, because he doesn't have any sort of like, he's just leading man. He's a blank slate. So I feel like, and I don't know if we're going to meet anybody new in the next one because it's a 1.5. This is a real struggle for me.
You should have grabbed a leading man when you could.
Well, I still have all of them. They're all available except for Dan. So anyway, I feel like I wanted to have like a little bit of a meet cute, but in like a creepy way. I pondered the idea of the person walking through the fields was going to be the leading man, but she doesn't realize it at first. And he's just like taking a shortcut somewhere. But then I was like, why is he wandering around the fields? What's he doing? Why is he like this?
Maybe he likes walking at night.
Maybe he does, but he should not be doing that. So anyway, so that's my crisis. I just don't know. You know, I did fulfill my chaos. I got that in there, but I don't know how to move forward.
I feel like this is
where my boy's gonna come from.
I just feel very consistently that you're gonna have like a very detailed chapter and I'm gonna have like the main point of what happens, because that's how I write and think. I'm like, well, I got the main point. The rest will come out in the draft that I'm obviously not writing.
That's not how I function. I'm not a writer, first of all. Secondly, I just can't imagine looking at a piece of paper and then just being able to fill it if I don't have like a sketch of what needs to be on that piece of paper.
You know that I'm like a big idea person. Like I have like I only ever have the big idea. I don't ever have the details. And this is a constant thing in our like working relationship too. Like I'm like, well, here's the big idea, and you're like, I don't understand how we're gonna do that. We're gonna need to like dial in. And I'm like, I'm a list person. You are a global thinker. That is the term for how you think. Oh, interesting.
I am a sequential thinker. I think in to-do lists and step by step and taking big things and breaking them into small pieces, where you're looking at big picture and maybe I'm going to go this way and maybe I'm going to go over here and maybe I'm going to start at the bottom and work my way up and maybe I'm just going to go right up here and do this, but I'm going to also, you know, like you're just going everywhere and I can't function like that.
I feel like sometimes they have that metaphor about like not being able to see the forest through the trees. It's like all I see is forest. I do not see individual trees, just forest everywhere.
No, I'm very much a tree person. I see every tree. I need to know where all the trees are. I need to know when I'm going to need to turn left to make my way around a tree. Like, it can be very debilitating. I know. Because like I told you with this big project I'm working on for school, it's like it feels so big. I can see every single one of those trees and I'm like, how am I going to chop down all those trees? It's too big. It's too big for me.
This is where my like confidence comes in. I don't see any of those trees. I'm like, oh, of course I can do that. Of course I can do that. That's going to be so easy. You just have to do this.
And I'm like, I'm sorry, you skipped like 17 steps. What are you talking about?
Well, you're just going to do the thing and it'll be done. So anyways, y'all just rely on my chapters being...
Your chapters are like fill in the blank. Like you can imagine your own chapter. It's a DIY book.
What you need to know is that we learn about Dan and why he's here. And that we learn that he has some power over her. He is able to suggest that she does something. And then she will do it. And that's going to lead to the next step in my chapter 3. So that's all you get to know about my chapter.
And what more do you need to know? I mean.
All right. So we've done our recap. We've talked about how we filled in. I feel like I didn't have enough characters to introduce the harem in this. I mean, I guess I could have just like pretended.
Well, you haven't left on your road trip yet.
Yeah. That's why I was like, So just trust me, the harem's coming.
Yeah, the road trip is what makes the harem happen, if I'm understanding your premise correctly.
Yeah, I do also think, so I have Steven set up as the wise mentor. I think that she has like a bit of a relationship with Steven, like as a frequent commenter, and like he comments back sometimes. So he
like a little bit of a parasocial situation.
On both ends. Like I think he also relies on her, you know. So he's part of the harem.
Okay.
Dan's part of the harem, obviously.
What a twist for the villain of the story to be in the harem.
I know.
But why not? Why not?
And then obviously this Redditor that she messages, he's going to be in the harem too.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Well, we love a Redditor. Quality
you
human
know who
beings.
it's going to be, right? Can you?
Okay.
if I get it.
I feel like well, I'm not going to take him. I pondered it. I might take him, but I have my heart set on somebody else that I don't think you're going to take. I don't feel like he would not feel safe enough to. He's probably using like so many what are they called? VPNs. He's got like layers and layers of VPNs. You'll never find him.
You're probably right. Unless he wants to be found.
He's going to find her. So she'll just tell him, okay, well, maybe they message back and forth. Here, let me just write your story for you. So
thank you. Well, if I want any details, that's how it's going to have to happen.
I will feed you all the details. That's the only thing I'm good at.
Top premise.
I can't figure out how to make my story happen, but I can tell you what she ate for lunch.
Meanwhile, I've only got a story, no details. I couldn't tell you what that magic shop looks like. I'll know when I write it. And I won't be writing it.
Listen, when we write our Smarty Pants book submission,
this is going to be great.
This is going to be so great.
Yeah.
We will have it all figured out.
Relationship. That's actually why we do work well sometimes, because like I know you get frustrated with my way of thinking, but I can at least we can work off something, because I can give you a big idea and then you can fill in our steps.
Right, because I would never do anything. I would just be sitting there making my list and list and list and would never accomplish anything ever. If you were like, well, let's just jump in and try and see what happens. And I'm like, okay.
Let's just run into the forest.
Let's just run into the forest. We'll dodge the trees.
You don't need to memorize the trees. Run right past them. We'll come out the other end. Have I ever told you about the time my friends got lost in the woods and it was mostly my fault?
No.
I feel like I should tell this story. So
how did they get lost in the woods when you're so good at navigation?
Well,
I need you to navigate me around my own city.
Well, we didn't really get lost, but it was late. So we were on this, death march through the woods.
Is this when you went to go see the waterfall?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't know that you got everybody lost. I did know that everyone wanted to die. And I do feel like I remember you being the first person back to the car.
Yeah, I did leave them behind.
Oh, okay.
So we were on this trail, and they had said that it would turn around and it would be like a large circle. Mm-hmm. And for a long time, and I do have a really great sense of direction. So for a long time, I was like, yeah, we are curving around. And then it kind of started veering in the wrong direction. So we were still walking. Everyone's still like, oh, man, this is so long. And I could see that we were veering around what was just like a huge, basically, ravine. Like we were, like between us and the car, there was no getting across it. We were going to be walking for basically ever.
Did you not check how long this trail was before you started?
Well, we weren't on the right trail. I didn't navigate us to the trail. I was just told that the trail circled around, and then I reassured everyone. They're like, "Oh, no, it is. Like I know where the car is parked, and we are circling." So, like, I don't know. 30 minutes going in what I knew was the wrong direction. I was like, guys, we're going to have to stop. We have to have a come to Jesus. This is not going to be, this is not going back to the car. We need to turn around. And at this point, like the sun was going down. So it's like night in the forest. And I'm like, no, we have to turn back now. This isn't ever going to get us back to the car in this direction unless it's like 4 to 5 more hours. Like my feet were bleeding. My friend's back was like hurrying. We were worried we were going to have to carry one of us out.
You were like, not my problem. I'm getting to the car.
Yeah, at some point I was like, listen, we're taking too long. I understand that y'all need to go slow, but at this point, I feel like I'll die if I don't get to the car. So I'm just going to forge ahead. And I just like power walked back to the car and left them behind. Was at the car, ready to drive when they got there. But, you know, we were all just confidently walking in that woods, and I had, like, forgotten about it. It was very traumatic to my friends. I had forgotten about it because that is what I do. I just kind of erased it from my mind. And my friend, we were out at some show, and she was like, yeah, sometimes I think about how you were able to just, like, power walk out of that forest. And I was like, what are you talking about? And she was like, you remember that hike we went on? And I was like, no. And Jeffrey was like, I remember that hike you went on. You complained about it. I was like, I don't know. But I do remember it now. But I had blocked it for a while. So
it's nice that you have that ability to just block unpleasant memories from your mind. But listen, the moral of the story is that everyone survived, didn't they?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They didn't need a map. You got
they didn't need a map. They didn't need a list. I got them back to the car.
You sure did.
I mean, I put them on the right path. I turned eventually, us all around.
Yeah.
And then I was like, listen, I'm going to go ahead. Y'all just keep going on this path that we're currently on. And everyone made it out. We had no plan, no backup plan, no steps. And we all survived. And we just went confidently into that forest. Anyways, what's the next step in this game?
Wasn't this a trip that you invited me on, but I couldn't go because I had work, or was it a different trip?
I think it was a different trip. It may have been. It may have been when I invited you on.
I was so close. So close to experiencing such a good time. Although, if I'd been there, we would not have been walking into the forest without knowing exactly what trail we were supposed to be on. Is all I'm going to say.
Yeah, I would, like, if someone tells me we're on something, I'm not going to be double checking that information. Like, okay, let's go. Yeah. I see the forest.
Anyway, I need you to roll a d20, please.
D20. It's an 8.
That's you.
I pick Alex.
Yes, I know. We all knew.
Alex is coming along for this ride. Let me cast him from my list of people that I have to cast. Okay. He is going to be the hermit. Obviously. So, I feel like I can already write chapter 3. I don't know what chaos I'm going to get, but just this is where we're leading, because Alex is the person that she messaged, and he's going to recognize her username as a person that talks to Steven. So he's going to get really interested in her and what she's doing. So he is going to find her.
Yeah. Your chapter 3 is just a series of Reddit messages back and forth.
That's chapter 2. Okay. But we don't have a name for him yet. He's just, Coyote Boy 27.
Crypto King 84.
And that's who she messages on Reddit.
Who she messages.
Okay, so Alex is here. He's my hermit. I need to write that somewhere so that I
have written it.
Well, we need to write it in our thing that I made.
We do, which I need to add all my stuff to that. It was on my list of things to do. So I picked next, right?
Yes.
I'm going to adopt Janie. And she's going to be my quirky townsperson because I just love her, and I feel like I love her more in these books where she's not the main character than she was when she was the main character. This one didn't make sense, but it made sense in my heart.
I feel like she's come fully into her own now, and that's really lovely to see. So now we get our chaos.
Yeah.
Okay. Should I roll first?
Yes, you do traditionally roll first.
Who cares about traditions?
Well, I mean, if you picked your character first.
No chaos.
Okay, see, it was your destiny.
Well, we should keep this part in.
Yeah.
So that people can know of my destiny.
Listen, I don't know. I'll figure it out when I'm editing. It's fine.
Okay. All right. So now we're going to reroll for you. An 18. No chaos.
No chaos. Nothing to do. All right.
That's what the universe wanted. It wanted us to have an easier time. It's all our struggles.
Well, my struggle wasn't caused by my chaos. My struggle was caused by my brain. And I still don't have a romantic lead. I don't know who I'm supposed to be falling in love with.
I did think that getting the romantic lead right up at the start was pretty important for me because I didn't see how I could do it without one.
I mean, I'm fine with a wait. Like I'm cool with not meeting them right away. Mm-hmm. But now I'm reaching the point where I'm like, well, okay, it's been a minute.
And then next up, we're reading Neanderthal Marries Human.
Right. So I'm not expecting a lot of new characters in that one unless there's a surprise, unless we get somebody interesting in there. I don't know.
I am interested in like who is going to be in there because like is Alex going to be there?
Is everybody going to be there? Actually, Alex won't be there because it's 1.5 has already happened before.
You're right.
3.
That's right.
So 1.5 canonically goes 1, 2, 1.5, and then 3.
But the publishing order is what we are reading in, not the canonical order, everyone.
Right. Yeah.
Because we are working on creating the canonical order. That's part of our podcast goals. So
far we're doing great. Yeah.
Okay. So shall we say what we're reading?
Sure.
Is that where we are? Is it done? Are we time?
Yeah. Well, we had no chaos, so there's nothing we don't have to hem and haw over how we're going to fix our stories.
Maybe this is good podcasting. I am. Do you want to go first?
I can go first.
Okay.
So, I've been reading quite a few things. One book that I really loved that I finished recently was I don't remember if I talked about this on the last episode, but The Wedding People by Alison Espa.
I don't think you talked about it on the last episode. You did text it to me.
Yeah, I told you about it, but it was part of my like happy thing last week. Anyway, I read it and I hated it at first, and I complained about it to Rachel. I was like, I hate this book. It's so terrible. But then it turned a corner and became so hilarious, and I love it so much, and I felt like it had something to say, and I felt like it said it really well. So I read that and I really enjoyed it. So I highly recommend that for people with a dry sense of humor. I think some people might read it and not get the humor, but I got the humor. So if you're special like I am, you'll get the humor.
If you're not like other readers.
If you're not like the other readers, you might get it. I did read the Happy Ever After playlist by Abby. Is it Jimenez or Jimenez? I don't know.
I thought it was Jimenez.
Okay.
But I just made that up, so.
Who knows? Anyway, I did not love it. Started off very fun. I actually picked it for us to read. Did not have a good time with it. Currently, I am reading The Queens of Crime by Marie Benedict. I put it on hold at my library. I'm not super far into it, but so far so good. We start off with Dorothy Sayers and Agatha Christie having tea.
Oh, that's fun.
And it takes place, this is after Agatha's like mysterious disappearance and her husband's affair and all of that. So she's a little bit withdrawn and like not quite like herself. And Dorothy is trying to get the detective club like off the ground, up and running. And so it seems, charming so far. I have started reading For She Is Wrath by Emily Varga. This is a retelling of the Count of Monte Cristo, but with in the Middle East, I think, and with a female protagonist. And I think there is a djinn in it, so that seems fun. I have been reading Just Mercy by Brian Stevenson. This was actually apparently a movie, but I didn't know. But this is about a lawyer who is fighting for prison reform and racial justice and stuff like that. It's one of the ones that I'm going to be recommending to my kiddos to read this year.
That sounds good.
It's very eye-opening, very frustrating to read too, because it's like, why are we like this? Like, why are we like this? We don't have to be like this. So I am reading that. I have also been reading. So I remember when you were talking about how you weren't sure how to write a harem. And I was like, listen, I got all the goods. I can give you all the details because I used to be super into harems. I'm not so much anymore. But there were 2 series that I had recommended to you that I was like, I've read them multiple times. They're just so cozy. And I ended up buying both of those series. Because after I talked about them to you, I was like, I miss those good times. And so I bought them both, and I've been reading through both of them. And they're actually pretty terrible. They're not good. They don't hold up. But they're so cozy that I'm just like, and I just feel so like comforted in these worlds that they're in, even though they're so silly and they're so dramatic. And why is everybody acting like this? And can everybody please calm down? But it's still like
they don't want to calm down.
They don't want to calm down, and they don't have to calm down. Let's let them be excited for once. So the series, one of them is I can't remember what they're called. One of them is by Jane Washington. It's the Seraph Black series. I am not recommending it. I need to be so clear. I'm not recommending it. I am just telling you that I'm having a good time reliving this insanity. The other one is by Jackie May, and it is the Nora Jacobs series. Also not recommending it. I would recommend the Nora Jacobs before I would recommend the Seraph Black, because Seraph Black has some problematic elements that I'm like, wow, I really didn't pick up on these the first time I read them like 10 years ago. But they're still cozy and good and fun for me. So I've been reading those and really wasting my time because I've already read them and have so many other things to do and so many other things to read. But like,
sometimes you just gotta have a nice time.
I just want to have a nice time right now.
Well, I also read the Happy Ever After playlist with you. I read it after I read her other book, Just for the Summer. Abby Jimenez is what I'm going to go with. Jimenez. I read Just for the Summer first. I loved Just for the Summer. I thought it was so good. I had such a nice time with it. I thought it really had something to say. I thought it was smart. I thought it was romantic. I loved the hero. He was so fun. I thought the female lead was a hot mess in the way that I like. So she had a really great best friend character. I loved Just for the Summer. And I had read that one because we had planned to read Happy Ever After playlist together, and I had to put it on hold, and I was like, well, let me just read a different book by the same author, because it said that the hold would be like 2 months, and then it of course wasn't. I got it like the day after I started reading Just for the Summer, but I went ahead and finished Just for the Summer, and I loved it. And so I don't know if my reading of Happy Ever After playlist was a little colored by the fact that I had just read this book that I love so much. I don't think it was as good as Happy Ever After playlist. There was a lot to like, or I don't think it was good as Just for the Summer. There was a lot to like in Happy Ever After playlist, but it just didn't hit for me the same way. I also listened to The Revenge of the Tipping Point, which I give a strong recommend to. I have been going back to Revenge of the Tipping Point and thinking about some of the things that were said in it, and I thought it was so interesting. So Revenge of the Tipping Point is very good. It's very new. It just came out, so a lot of the studies that he does are very timely and interesting, and he's got one about Harvard that just literally blew my mind. And I've been thinking about it since then. I'm like, I just can't believe it, but I don't want to spoil it because I want people to read it. So go figure out what he says about Harvard. And then I started an audiobook called The King of Diamonds, which is about a Dallas area jewel thief. One of my friends had recommended it. One of my friends in our Dallas book club. She said it just has all of this Dallas history, but through the lens of looking through this jewel thief who was never caught. So it's pretty interesting. It is a long book. It's a 16-hour audiobook, and I've listened to an hour, so I haven't gotten very far. And then I started Praise Song for the Kitchen Ghosts, which is a memoir/cookbook by Crystal Wilkinson. And it is about Black Appalachian families.
Appalachian history is crazy.
It's very interesting. It has been very interesting so far. I have not gotten super far into it. I think I'm a little past 15%. But so I haven't even gotten any recipes yet. I've just gotten memoir. But the memoir I've gotten has been very good. So I'm excited about it. And that's all I've been reading.
We'll be back in 2 weeks with Raymond Chandler.
That's it. That's what we were missing.
Sleep.
Yeah. Raymond Chandler's Big Sleep. I haven't started it yet, so I
have started it.
Is he pro-capitalism?
He hasn't said so yet.
Okay. So we just got to wait for him to say that in a direct sentence.
Yeah. Hard to say at this point because I haven't gotten that far in. And so far I'm like, what is happening? Like from the get-go, already people are being weird. So, but listen, if it's Sean Spencer's, we'll be there. We'll be there to tell you about it.
See you in 2 weeks.
Thank you for joining us today. If you enjoy, please subscribe to the podcast and also leave us a review.
If you have any questions for us, you can email us at readersoftheLostArtPod@gmail.com. You can also follow us on Blue Sky at ReadersPod and on Instagram and Threads at ReadersOfTheLostArtPod.
If you would like to hear more from us, you can receive our free weekly newsletter by joining our Patreon, Readers of the Lost Art. It will have news, behind-the-scenes content, and our reading books.
We'll see you next time. Be the light.